This video is for the fellas. Hello fellas, my name is Levitia and this video is starting off a little bit differently than the rest. I'm usually like, hey beautifuls, it's your girl Levitia, but I just want to dive in and make this video. So actually let's play the intro and then let's dive in. Cue intro. Is brought to you by Ethereal by Levitia, which is my luxury vegan hair and skincare company, really inspired by helping create self-love and self-care within create self-love and self-care within everybody that comes into contact with one of my products. You can head to levitia.com and check it out, and you will get a very exclusive 10% off coupon code if you sign up for our email blast, which is an inspirational email blast, so you'll love it. Let's talk about consent. I know this conversation might be a little bit uncomfortable and I want to dive more into it on my podcast, but I just want to kind of make a PSA because I feel like there's like this misnomer going around that when you are with somebody sexually and they're like, no, but they might say it like no or no or no. Those all mean no. No matter how you say it, no means no. And I don't think that this guy meant any harm by it, but I think it was just triggering to me because of something that I had just gone through prior to seeing this person, which again I will talk about on my podcast, so stay tuned. But I was at their house and like we had smoked, and then like I definitely like wanted some form of intimacy, but with boundaries. I knew I wasn't gonna have sex. I knew I didn't want oral sex. Basically nothing that involved me having to get tested afterwards. And I was really proud of myself because like that whole situation, like I never physically touched his penis. And I know that sounds like either why not or like weird, but I made it be a boundary for myself. And like, it wasn't to slight him. It was just to make myself not feel pressured. If I don't want to touch your penis, I don't have to touch your penis. And I was never forced to do that. But there was a moment where we were really intensely making out and he had asked if he could like give me oral, or if he could taste it. And I was like, no. And then, I don't even think I said like that. I was like, no. And then like literally mid make out, I wasn't even trying to be sexy. I was just like, no. And then he was like, come on, not even for 60 seconds. Or he was like, not even for like 2 minutes. And I was like, no. And then he was like 60 seconds. At that point, if you ask me again, I'm getting up and I'm leaving. Because how many times do I have to say no? I shouldn't have to say no 3 times. So that was just interesting for me. And gratefully, they were a person who had like, I guess, respect for me. So finally they got it. And maybe they were just in the moment. I don't want to give too much amnesty and make excuses. But I did just want to acknowledge that on this video. I didn't feel violated by it, but I did feel like it could have gone there, and it could have gone to a sense of me feeling violated even if I wasn't violated in a physical sense. So I think that if anything, my boundaries would have just felt violated for you continuously asking me, because at this point you think that I don't know what I want and that I'm going to change my mind. So there's no harm, no foul to that person, but I do just want to acknowledge that to men. Like, you don't understand how sexy consent is. Like, when you are in bed with somebody, ask them before anything. And that's just going to sound obnoxious. And there have been girls who have said, like, I don't need my guy asking me if he can kiss me. Just kiss me. That's fine. Good. Like, you can have that conversation with your man. But if you are somebody who has been through sexual trauma in any way, you understand the need to have somebody check in with you before everything. I'm talking everything. I personally have a no choking rule because of some trauma that I've gone through, which I will again share on my podcast. But if you violate that no choking rule, it's happened before. And unfortunately, back in the day before I had flexed my throat chakra and had self-confidence, and was before when I was scared that people were going to just leave me, I don't give a fuck now, but I would just disassociate if I would get choked and be like, okay, well, they're into it, so let me just, I know I said I didn't like this, but I'm just going to dissociate. At that point, I'm no longer in the moment and I'm out of it. I want to go home. Like, I'm not feeling anything. Definitely not going to come tonight. So with that being said, I think that it is important to ask consent for everything. Can I touch you there? And then maybe after the second time, or after the first time you have sex, you can have that full-blown conversation, like what's acceptable. But I do think that you should have that conversation now that I've vocalized it. I've said this before. Have that conversation beforehand. What are your boundaries? Even after that conversation is had, though, about what your boundaries are and what you will not and do want in the bedroom, still ask for consent. That's just how I feel. That's what I need. Everybody has different needs though. So again, some people might think it's hella annoying. Some people might think it's hella endearing. It just depends on who your partner is, and there's no judgment for either one. You know, people deal with their trauma in different ways. But anyways, my spirit just told me to make this video for y'all, and I really hope it's helpful, and I really hope that it can get y'all or keep y'all out of sticky situations, especially in today's climate. Women, we are not shutting up. We are not backing down. Like, we are very much so standing up for ourselves now. We are finding our voice. So we're not scared. And I think that guys need to get on the same page. Like, yes, we can take all these fucking self-defense classes and do all this inner work as women, but men also just need to stop being assholes. So before you become an asshole, if you are not one already, please take heed to what I'm saying and ask for consent, y'all. I love you so, so much. Give yourself a big hug. I love you. Please be kind to yourself and be kind to animals. Mwah.